Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Le Squid Iron. I will soon learn how to say that en français, but I'm still thrilled at the fact that we are getting to see players at the toppest of calibers duking it out in round one. This is Group A of the Iron Squid 2, and I am Day 9, joined by the lovely Kalaris.
It's scary to think that this is just round one, like Liquid HerO versus aLive. That's a headline game of any tournament.
Right?
It's pretty insane. So, so let me throw this at you, Sean. When you look at tournament lineups, you can normally say about 2, 3, 4 people that you think are going to go all the way and win the tournament. Try and tell me, if you look at the Iron Squid lineup, who wins? Who are those 3, 4 top players that win it?
You know, I am see, it's hard for me to divorce my enjoyment of Liquid HerO versus his results as of late. Yeah. So, you know what? I will say that Liquid HerO succeeds and gets the top 3 spots so that way we can introduce our players in the game. All right, here we go. Spawning in the top left corner from Team Liquid, the man who might win it all and get second and get third, it is HerO.
Yeah, okay. And spawning down in the southern position here as our red Terran, we indeed have aLive. Currently 1 game down, looking to bring himself back so he can advance on to face off against Symbol. But
yeah,
no.
And you know, I will say I'm pretty excited to see players like Creator playing later in this event. Of course, Scarlet I'm always a fan of, but
yes.
I think as of late, all the StarTale players, Life, Parting, have been looking so good. Leenock has continued to impress me with his consistency, but given the fact that MMA is the ex-champion and has really been off the radar, it's not even like he dwindled out, he just sort of disappeared all of a sudden. So I'm hoping that he can, at the very least, make a repeat return to the Final Four.
Yeah, I'm going to be very interested to see what he can do on Acer. Acer obviously picking him up recently. Of all the teams that were going to pick in the bidding for him, I didn't really think it was going to be Acer, but apparently that's how it went, and I'm extremely excited to see how he does. Because look at what Ryung has done on Axiom, for example. With it seems that the ex-Slayers players, you know, just finding their new teams, have really found a comfortable footing. And
yeah.
I mean, Ryung's in a position where he can legit actually win the next GSL guys. It could be a thing. And then Total Biscuit and Jenna Bain will be pretty happy with their recent signing. So it's pretty cool.
Indubitably.
Oh,
and now this is interesting. Oh, Indubitably is so good. And of course I love Inimitable. Interestingly, aLive going for the gas first, not something we've really seen him do that much, and I don't object to a Reaper expand, and neither does Mr. Bitter, but I'm surprised to just see him doing that on this map, as he is just so often the guy who likes to get his expands up, and similarly, surprised to see Liquid HerO. He's going for the double assimilator on 1 base, Zealot and Chrono Boost. This looks very much so not like an early expand, and actually looks like he wants to go for a fast Twilight Council and maybe do some Blink play.
Could be the case. It's actually a really, really nice option to go for on this map. You can try and get in there and oftentimes snipe out the Barracks Tech Lab that is researching Stim, which is normally where people focus their attention on. Now, he's only had 2 guys on each gas geyser, though, so that makes me think he's sort of wanting to go for some kind of expand and maybe get a little tech behind it.
Yeah, it's interesting to see that he's getting so many units and so many buildings before that expansion. In the meantime, we see aLive is already going for the Starport tech. We see the Hellion coming out that will do a little bit of poking, or as the show calls it, scouting. But ooh, more Hellions coming out. Now this could be an interesting Marine Hellion push. It's kind of like the 1-1-1 with no add-ons, and then the 1-1-1 with add-ons to follow it up.
God, I love the Marine Hellion push.
It's really fun, yeah.
Yeah, just dropping the Hellions. I mean, or you can drop the Marines as well. You have vice versa. Either thing that you want to do is very, very strong at this point. And with this pro position for HerO like it is, and he's getting a Robo, is he going to put a pylon down there and maybe try and warp in on the high ground at some point? I mean, He has to be very careful, though, with what his opponent's doing. He needs to know that there is an expansion going down right now.
He really needs to have that sense. I mean, because one of the things that makes Hellion Marine pushing so strong is that...
Ooh.
Oh, and there it is, the transition into the 1-1-1 build. One of the things that makes Hellion Marine pushing so strong is that force fields just don't really do that much anymore. I mean, ordinarily Marine pushes can easily be held off with force fields and a few ranged units, but no, I mean, you have the medevac there. It can lift up, move forward, and drop, and all the sentries have vertical beams.
Yep, that's pretty much it. They're not very good against those poor Marines. And for now, we will have the Zealot moving back, trying to get out as many gateways as he can do. And actually, he's not making anything just yet. The Hellions are on the way in here, and he's good force fields here to hold this off. He does not want to lose those sentries, but he loses one of them pretty rapidly there. And a second one over at the ramp as well. aLive. Oh, actually, he's doing quite a bit of damage here.
aLive looking to be in a good position to continue to deal damage as well, but no probes at the natural expansion will abate Live's aggression, at least marginally, for the time being.
This is really interesting. He's actually just going to go for an expansion behind this, and he's adding on 2 extra barracks to swap them out for the Starport and the factory. So, looks like he wants to go in for those Marauders afterwards. This is really odd.
Transition into Marauders no matter what, and HerO getting super aggressive with these Stalkers. It looks like he will end up perhaps losing one, but there's the warping up into the main base. He's got to be careful because that instantly sacrifices all of those Marines. That was almost a little bit needless. And oh my god, in a critical series of missteps, aLive tries to load up into the main base, loses the medevac, but of course by abandoning those Marines, HerO instantly picks those off as well. So now, even though we're seeing a transition into this Marauder play, aLive, I don't even know how he's going to defend this Stalker counter.
No, you're right. I mean, he doesn't have any bunkers down. He doesn't have much production either. He's only now just getting those barracks onto the add-ons. He was hoping to hold his opponent back a little bit longer than this, but the SCV is now coming off the line. aLive is in a lot of trouble here, unless he can defend this. But, I mean, HerO's doing so much damage.
Oh my god, HerO is going to just do a game-winning blow with a basic 5 Stalker counterswing, and look at this. Warp Prism incoming, more Stalkers rally forward. HerO's not going to go for the late game. Why go for late game when you can win right now? 2 Marauders pop out, more Marines en route. aLive having to pull back, but with the Observer, that means that HerO's guaranteed to see up onto the high ground, pick off all these supply depots, and even manage to get a really nice solo force field.
Yeah, that was pretty darn good indeed. Right now he kills off one of the Marauders with that. He's going to kill off the rest of these bio units. aLive is just trying to get any units out that he can here. Even Hellions joining the fray, trying to deal with all of this aggression, but with those units on the way across the map here for HerO. He has so much firepower, and there's no bunkers still for aLive. He can't hold any of this off. And
there's the Warp Prism, just letting aLive know HerO allows no comebacks. Just storming the front. SCV's coming in, and aLive got a little too cute for his own good. And there's good game. Liquid HerO advances 2-0.
I did not really expect that second game to go as quickly as it was. That was really quite odd. Oh, wow. I mean, you know, losing that medevac with a few Hellions in as well isn't really going to help you out too much in that situation. You need to keep that alive, and, you know, maybe you just overstepped the mark a little bit there.
I mean, it's kind of funny how we're seeing this period of great experimentation in all matchups, where people are trying to really toy with a variety of openings because people have started to get very solid with their mid and late game and are saying, okay, yeah, you know what? I know how to do this Marauder medevac heavy style in mid. Let me just do some weird openings and then transition into that. But always, 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 the most vulnerable situation in any matchup is in the midst of a transition. And that transition really ended up biting aLive hard. I mean, that's a weird response, but either way, aLive has to account for weird responses, like 5 Stalker counter swings.
Yeah.
So now it's HerO versus Symbol in the winners bracket finals.
That's going to be pretty darn awesome. I believe we have to go to a little bit of a commercial break before we actually go into that series. But in just a second, guys, we'll be back with HerO versus Symbol. Don't go anywhere.